Welcome back. We are still talking some high school hoops, and you know why? That's another team expected challenge for that Bayside title. But first, they had to get by a pesky North Dorchester team. Defense leading some early offense here for the Indians. Jordan Brittenham comes up with a steal. He finds his backcourt mate, Torrey Brittenham. He gets the easy deuce there on the lay-in. But then DeQuan Johnson just went absolutely nuts from downtown for the Eagles. Not one, not two, but 3 straight threes on 3 different possessions, getting his team a little bit of a spark and back in this thing. But they were down big, and it was because of this guy right here. The man, the myth, the legend, Lionel Batson with the best dunk here of the early season. All kinds of facial right there on Johnson. I have no idea why that man jumped trying to block that, but that was just all types of wrong. The Indians end up taking this thing in a huge blowout win, 81-27 the final.
And Milford trying to make it far this season after falling in the first round of the playoffs and wrapping it up with 12 wins and 8 losses last year, while Lake Forest with a 4-16 record. And this game started off real slow with the Spartans taking the early lead, but the Buccaneers would surge ahead. Sophomore Brian Murray netted 18 points as the Buccaneers rally for the Henlopen South victory. Milford outscored Lake Forest 26-17 in the second half to overcome a 4-point halftime deficit and get their first 51-46 win of the season.
And Mardella was squaring off against St. Michael's. A good start here for the Warriors as Zach Hyland connects on the 3 here after a little bit of a bounce. He actually had 3 of those in the first 4 minutes, and then a couple possessions later, it was Nate McCoy from the corner. He buries that long ball as well. They were dropping for him. He finished with a game-high 26 points on the night. Now the Saints hanging around in this thing. Bobby Stacy drills that mid-range J right there in the 3rd, but this one was all Mardella. Another triple right here. This one from Corbin. Or Caleb Corbin, that is, from the wing. Warriors take this one 75-31 the final.
And what a crowd at the home opener for James M. Bennett, who were taking on Queen Anne's, and first half all air. Clippers Jordan Duffy drives, gets the layup, and they are all fired up. But the Lions came to play. Brendan Kavanaugh drives all the way, goes in for 2. But this night was all about the Clippers, especially for Duffy. Sees the opportunity right here coming up. Goes for the 3 to get anything going, and it's a high-scoring game as the Clippers take this one 88-54.
Duffy is the preseason pick of player of the year right there. Well, just south of there, Pocomoke was taking on Kent Island. Trevor Brown helping the Warriors to an early lead right there. Gets the layup after he gets the pump fake and gets his man in the air. Out of bounds player here, gets good ball movement, leads to Lee Curtis Whitney down low with the turnaround, gets it in from the block. The Bucks trying to hang around though. Michael Quinn, a good look right here. Nico Edwards down low. He finishes for the deuce. But Pocomoke would put this thing away early. Whitney one more time. Warriors take this thing 73-36 the final. And wow, I mean, what a way to start off the basketball season.
And it's just the beginning. The power rankings are back, and Trey, it's a whole different ball game, literally. Tell us what you got for the first power rankings of the 2014 basketball season.
You know what, Giselle, like I said before, I love me some football, but I am eternally grateful to be inside now. Those last few weeks outside have been brutal. With that being said, let's get to some of our other scores that happened this weekend. Henlopen favorite Polytech takes down Sussex Central 77-45, and Caesar Rodney gets win number 1 as the Riders take down Smyrna 54-51. The Eagles of Snow Hill come up with a big win against Cambridge 62-49. Decatur lost 5 starters from a team last year that made it to their first Bayside Conference Championship, and what a win for that young team and Coach B.J. Johnson putting the clamps on North Carolina. And how about this upset? Colonel Richardson goes into the graveyard and takes down defending 1A East champion Chrisfield 63-61. Now, one of the biggest reasons I like to do these power rankings is the reaction from fans and players. Anytime I'm out, I like to get feedback of who and who shouldn't be on this list. With that being said, get your pen and paper ready because here are your first power rankings of the 2014 season. Coming in at number 1, those Parkside Rams. They are the team to beat in the Bayside. Big statement over Bayside defending champs Easton. Washington coming in at number 2. These guys have been playing together for so long, and when you watch them, all around just beautiful basketball. Y-High at number 3, looking strong as usual. What do you expect from a Butch Waller team? Number 4 will raise some eyebrows here, but I love Bennett's combination of players. This team is more than just Jordan Duffy. And number 5, Kent, they went 0-1, but expect the Trojans to be in the mix when it's all said and done. In Delaware, the Polytech Panthers are my number 1 team. They are a veteran bunch with a lot of history together. Expect for them to challenge in the conference title. Woodbridge, I hear, is loaded with transfers, including sharpshooter Randy DuPont from Decatur. They check in at number 2. Sussex Tech, Dover, and Delmar with their hot scorer, Larry Ennis, round out my top 5.
Well, already a little problems with the list. First of all, I disagree. Bennett basically is all but Duffy. I mean, that kid is going to carry them the rest of the way. But some of the things, I look at Maryland. I got Parkside 1 with him. I switched the Y-High Jags part. I like Y-High there at number 2 over the Jags. Y-High just has too much height down low. And I still got Kent County over Bennett. Bennett creeps in the list. They weren't there in my preseason polls. But Kent County looked really good against Washington. As for the Delaware teams, I got Pauley at number 1. I got Dover up at number 2. I looked at this team a little bit in the offseason. They got a lot of quality players. They haven't played yet, but you're going to watch out for them down the stretch. And I got Delmar sneaking in at 3. I really like that guard play, the 3 ones that they got right there. That's going to be tough to beat in high school. Then I go Sussex Tech and then Woodbridge. Woodbridge, I think, is going to move up, but I don't think they're as good as people make them out to be right now.
All right, we always give Trey some stuff. You know, I can see why Parkside is number 1. Parkside had 98 points and sat their starters in the 4th quarter, so I agree with that. But in Delaware, Trey, I mean, Polytech number 1. They went 7-13 last year, didn't even make it to the playoffs. And if your reasoning is because they have a veteran bench, I'll let that one slide.
They are the biggest team I have seen in high school, like ever.
We'll
like seriously,
see.
every one of those starting 5 are like 6'6" or above. I mean, it is ridiculous to watch. All right, we're going to take another quick commercial break, but coming up next, we are still talking some hoops, but it's time to take it to the college level. That's coming up after the break.
My name is John Dildar, defensive end for Dover High, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.